welcome back to Best Drink Recipes. I'm Eli Mountjoy, and today we get to review a very beautiful and exquisite spirit. And what makes this exceptionally special is we've already done a review for Beehive Gin. We did the Jackrabbit, which was basically a new Western gin, which is kind of a new thing that's emerged. And these guys have taken it a whole step further to another level, maybe 2 levels. And by that I mean, it takes a lot of work and focused mindcraft to create this product here. So, to go back and give a little perspective on this, after we did our original review of the Jackrabbit Gin, which was very sweet and had a lot of honeysuckle in it, you can check out the review if you want, we had the chance and the honor and just the downright fun of meeting Eric Oslin, who is one of the owners of the distillery who produces this spirit. He happened to be in Los Angeles. One of their people contacted us, said, hey, we'd love to stop by and you guys could meet up. And so Will and I decided to meet up, and we went in kind of downtown Koreatown area, and we didn't know what to expect, but we met Eric. The dude is awesome. Couldn't be even awesomer. The dude is maximum capacity awesome. Totally with it, totally understanding of everything, totally patient, totally knowledgeable, and totally willing to impart his knowledge as well as learn a bunch of other stuff. I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out with a guy like that? So, one thing led to another. We had some coffee, we were hanging out, then we went and got a couple of drinks. A couple of drinks turned into 2 or 4, 2 or 4 turned to 8 or 10, 8 or 10 turned into 15. We went to a couple places. We ended up at the Normandy, I believe is where it was. And they had already had a couple of bottles of the spirit there, and some of their mixologists just started pumping out the drinks. The versatility of this spirit is astounding, as we had a first chance to see. Now, what's really cool about this is these guys are basically chemists in the lab, and they're trying to make new things. They're always tasting, they're always doing stuff. One of the characteristics of a new Western gin is that it's not predominantly juniper forward, which is what all of the previous gins are. And by that I mean that's where gin derives its name, juniper. It was a Dutch thing called Genever, which means juniper in Dutch, and then it became gen, and then gin, and then we had Old Tom, now we've got London Dry, and then we have this new Western, which is a whole new style. For the fellows over at Beehive, what that meant was adding elements of sage and coriander, which kind of enhanced and brought into a new dimension what gin was and what it can be. With this, the Barrel Age Reserve, it's taken it, like I was saying, another level or 2 up. And to do that, they had to become basically mad chemists to alchemists, kind of turning straw into gold. And I do believe that's what they've done with this here. To achieve the color of this, what they had to do was they hand-charred French oak barrels, and then they put their product into there for between 7 and 9 months. Most of them, Eric was saying, is 9 months. And what's awesome about this is these dudes are doing everything by themselves. They're charring the inside, they're putting it in, they're tasting it, and they're making sure that this is balancing out to where they want. Needs a little more of this, needs a little less of that, let's keep it moving, and voila, you have this incredible spirit. Now, this is a new emerging thing. We're happy to be kind of basically gifted with this. They gave this to us to review. This is like exceptional. How many barrel-aged gins do you know about? It's a new thing that's emerging. Will and I here at Best Drink Recipes got into gin within the last year. And Beehive is basically solely responsible for us getting on the boat and sailing down whatever rivers gin might take us, because their gin is so exceptional, so sweet, so forgiving, so inviting, so seductive. And we've been waiting to get a hold of this. Currently, you can only find this at a place like K&L, which here in Los Angeles is basically a big wine selected store. But we also found it at places in Culver City, like Bar and Garden. They had a bottle of it somehow. Eric Osling wasn't even sure how they got it, but those people are on the forefront. So we're really excited to get into this bottle. And probably the last thing that I'll note about this before we actually begin the tasting is this comes from Utah. It comes from Salt Lake City, Utah, which is not a place you would traditionally think that liquors would come out of, and it's not like hard spirit country. The only other two distillers that we basically know of are Sugar House Distillery and Vida Tequila. Other than that, I mean, how many other spirits are coming out of Utah? There's probably a few, but it's, of course, not really known for the epicenter of spirits, at least not alcoholic spirits. So we've talked enough about this. One last thing I will say about this is that Eric Ostling himself said he's the person who puts on the labels. And I have to say, it's pretty good. I feel like if I were to put him on, I'd get him all, messed up like you do, and then, what do you do? And he's got a nice little touch here. That's indicative of the time and patience that it takes to create a spirit like this. Nice work. So without further ado, let us try the Beehive Barrel Reserve. I'm going to break the seal now. And open. Nice. And it's begun. Really complex. So, the juniper is present. It is a gin. But there's kind of a caramel and like a lemon zest sort of thing. Why don't we pour it into our glass and let it open up a little bit more. In you go. Love that sound. And one of the things I do know that you can do with a lot of spirits, and I've been waiting to do with this, is before we smell and do anything, what we can do is prime our palate by just taking a little bit here and rubbing it together. And what we're doing is evaporating all the alcohol. And what we're left with are all the botanicals, all the agents, all the congeners, including the hand-charred oak barrels that flavor and color the spirit. You can actually smell what this is made of. That's kind of cool. It's very earthy in that way. This is really bright for being a darker gin, being a barrel-aged gin. I definitely get the coriander there, some allspice, a little bit of clove. It's like a golden poppy field, kind of like when everything's blooming. When you walk through and you just get that big waft into your sinal cavity. It clears you out. It's really nice. It's bright. If we hold it up and we have our Hamlet moment, it's got this beautiful caramel color to it. And of course, that's the wood. That's the French oak charred wood on the inside. And so you do kind of get some of that caramelized sugar, brown sugars, burnt marshmallow kind of flavor. If I were to just taste this blindly, I'm not sure I would immediately identify it as gin, because I'm not hit over the head with juniper. The barrel's kind of rounded that out, and it's become more of in between a bourbon and a gin. It's very nice. It's very complex. It has layers in it. It's got kind of herbaceous. It's got like a basil sage background with maybe you can get a little of those rose petals. Bales of hay come to mind. It's very complex. I mean, this is going to really shine by itself on the rock, maybe a splash of water, or in cocktails that can prominently feature this, put it forward, because you wouldn't want to put something like this in the background of, say, like, a margarita or something of that nature, which would be considered the family of the daisies, because it would just get kind of blended in by a bunch of things. There's so much going on here, you don't really need to accentuate it with too many things. It is complex. It does conjure you to drink more because you go, oh, you know, after you have a sip, you get a couple of 3 things, like a little lemon zest in there, and then you go, oh, there's the coriander. Oh, I feel like tasting it again. I mean, I love this because here we are, we're drinking neat barrel-aged gin. Incredible. And I'm not like some washed-up sailor missing all my teeth doing it. I mean, we're enjoying this here. It's not like we're forcing this down just to get drunk. This is an enjoyable experience. Again, we could do it with one of those Cold Stones. We could do it on the rock. Really, really lovely. Look at the color. And the sunlight, I'm sure, just like comes alive. It's like literally golden liquid. Nice job, guys. I have to commend you on this. Even the color looks like you've spun gold. And I can't stop drinking it. So, since I can't stop drinking it, I think we probably better make a couple of cocktails with this. So if you'd like to see any of those that we're about to make, you can find them here, right here, or over there. And while you're considering which of those to view, I'll continue on drinking this spun gold. Really, really lovely. Really nice. Well, I hope you'll join us in any one of these videos that we're about to make. And we thank you for watching Best Drink Recipes. If you'd like to comment, please subscribe. We'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you for watching. I'm Eli Mountjoy. This is Best Drink Recipes, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the next drink.